Hello to everyone tuning in from around the world for our annual International PechaKucha Day. We're thrilled to be part of this extraordinary 24-hour live event and want to thank Mark, Astrid, Brian, and the whole PK team for coordinating today. My name is Emma Exley and I'm coming to you from snowy New York City to tell you how much I love the national parks. Responding to the threat of civil war and westward expansion, then President Abraham Lincoln placed Yosemite under the protection of the state of California. In 1872, Lincoln's former general, President Ulysses S. Grant, made Yellowstone America's and the world's first ever national park for the benefit and enjoyment of the people. Many transcontinental railroad companies financed early park expeditions, lodges, and special direct branch lines to the newly created national parks in the American Southwest. The Union Pacific route from Chicago to Los Angeles made easy access to 5 parks, creating an enormous tourism boom. Women have had a long history within the NPS. Claire Hodges became one of the first women rangers to fill vacancies due to the draft. Anne Morris was a pioneer in archaeology and excavation in the Southwest and Mexico. Tina Short was one of the first African American rangers in the 1970s, and her daughter Kim following in her footsteps. Following these iconic women, I became a junior park ranger on a road trip along Route 66 through Arizona when I was 6 years old. Coming from the city of Chicago, I was awestruck at the wild expanse of the petrified forest and painted desert national parks. I'm now going to take you on a virtual tour of some of my favorite parks, starting in Maine. Acadia became the first national park east of the Mississippi River in 1919. Here you can find puffins and large migratory birds of prey on the rocky headlands. On the coastlines, you'll likely spot some humpback whales breaching the Atlantic. In musician Dolly Parton's backyard, you can find the beautiful Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Bordering the states of North Carolina and Tennessee, this mist-covered forest and wildflower landscape includes a segment of the famous Appalachian Trail. Once a playground for the famous Carnegie family, Cumberland Island National Seashore is located on the Barrier Islands in the state of Georgia. Accessible only by boat, the historical buildings, marshes, creeks, and dunes are home to a variety of alligators, armadillos, sea turtles, wild boars, and feral horses. Spanning the Continental Divide, Rocky Mountain National Park is home to some of the nation's highest peaks, including Long's Peak on the left. NASA is currently conducting studies on climate change in this park and hopes to assess the vulnerability of the glaciers and ecosystems that are found here. A couple hours southwest, Arches National Park lies in the heart of the Moab Desert on the border of the Colorado River. This Utah park plays host to more than 2,000 red-hued natural sandstone arches, pinnacles, pillars, and balancing rocks. Utah's Zion National Park features several slot canyons formed by rivers over many centuries. The Narrows is the narrowest section of the park with sandstone walls over 30 meters tall. This 16-mile hike through the river is a hilarious challenge with waist-deep murky water and bowling ball-sized rocks strewn across the bottom. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park encompasses 2 of the most active volcanoes in the world, Mauna Loa and Kilauea, on the Big Island. The park is looked after by Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes and fire, as it was she who shaped the sacred island and controls the flow of lava. Kilauea's name translates to spewing or much spreading in Hawaiian due to its frequent outpouring of lava and constant state of moderate eruption. Kilauea is literally happy to show off its amazing lava crater lake in this 2016 viral photo. After months of quarantining in my tiny New York apartment, we jumped into the car and drove down to Virginia to beach camp under the stars at Assateague Island National Seashore. Here you can find the Chincoteague ponies, a band of small feral horses roaming the beach. Bear spray is required when visiting Glacier National Park. Home to 1/5 of the lower 48's grizzly population, bear encounters are frequent at this Montana park, especially during blueberry season. Weighing as much as 800 pounds and standing 10 feet tall, best to keep at a distance with these furry beasts. On the outskirts of Miami, alligators and wading seabirds rule the Everglades National Park. The largest tropical wilderness in the United States, this park is comprised of wetlands, mangroves, and forests that are also home to endangered species of manatee and the Florida panther. Camping in these parks during the COVID outbreak has offered a welcome refuge, with ample opportunities to social distance in the wild. Returning to the Petrified Forest National Park this week, an anomaly of a desert snowstorm the night before left us a vibrant expanse of color to hike completely alone. So what's on my national park dream list once this global pandemic is behind us? One of the least visited parks, southern Florida's Dry Tortugas National Park on the Gulf of Mexico, home to a 19th century Fort Jefferson, similarly old shipwrecks, and Loggerhead Key coral reefs. President Barack Obama has protected more acres than any other president and established the most number of national monuments since the Antiquities Act was signed by Theodore Roosevelt in 1906. It is especially critical during this climate crisis that we pressure government to protect and preserve this land for future generations going forward. I hope that the current and future administrations will continue the critical mission of the National Park Service. With over 400 parks, preserves, monuments, and trails to explore, I bet you can find a reason to opt outside to find your park too, and I'll see you out there.